Well, hello and happy Friday. Welcome on in to another edition of the PHNX D-backs Podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montilla. Of course, I'm your mayor of PHNX, and this show just got a lot better looking around here.
Thank you.
The one and only Suzie Hunter
How you
from the
guys doing?
DNVR Rockies podcast
Yes.
joins us. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh, such a treat.
Yeah, and
I'm here too, Derek.
He's also down there, over there somewhere, I guess. It's Jesse Friedman. He's the vice mayor. Sometimes he's called the Thunderstick, but we thank you guys for being here. Of course, this show is brought to you by the fine folks at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Suzie, what are you doing here? Why are you here right now?
So, everything I've worn this week is green. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm from Philly, and I am all of the Philly stereotypes. I'm terrible.
Yeah. Well, we followed you on social media during the World Series, so we know.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Have you guys greased the poles down here?
No, we don't do that here because we're kind of just like, we're kind of normal folks here, like that don't get up on poles and get naked.
Arizona is not normal.
Well, no, that's
Arizona
true.
is
That's
the
very true.
Florida of
Yeah.
the West.
But
Whoa,
we don't
now.
have to.
I don't
have
know
to
about
grease our
that.
poles here. We don't have to grease our poles, but with you people in town, we might have to. So
you should start now.
I know. Well, we have plenty of
Yeah.
of Eagles talk to get to. Of course, as you guys know, I'm riding with the Eagles. They are going to destroy the Kansas City Chiefs.
I believe you
I
said
do.
they were going to win by $1 billion.
$1 billion. I said whatever the spread is, take the spread. It could be $1 billion points, and I would still take it. I know that might be much, but I feel like it's fairly accurate. But very excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
And I know you guys have had kind of a lackluster offseason a little bit over there in Denver.
You know, lackluster move-wise, to say the least.
Sure.
But we still have lots of stuff to talk about,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what, for instance, was your was the biggest gripe that fans had about the offseason? Was it just the?
I think recently the biggest gripe is the Dick Monfort comments, the owner of the Rockies, when he said at a very nice charity event in Colorado, he said, "Oh yeah, these guys will play 500 ball." And
wow.
So it's like there's two sides to this. You know, the one side is like, "Oh, that's what you're aiming for,"
Yeah.
but the other side is why he should be honest about what to expect.
I mean, and 500 would be an improvement as far as last
It'd be a
season
pretty big
wins.
improvement.
So it's
Yeah, that'd be a
not
pretty
like-
big improvement.
It's not, at least he's not saying like, oh, we're going to do the same thing we did last year or something. But I get it. It's like for you to basically shoot for mediocrity before the season even starts. Lie to me. Lie to me. You know
you
what
want
I mean?
him to lie to you?
Lie to me. Tell me that you think you're going to make the playoffs, and so we could be like, "You're crazy," and he could be like, "Well, I don't know."
I feel like the move that he should have made is just be like, we feel we can be competitive. You know, like that's more typical front office speak. Is like just use vague language,
Yeah,
right?
right.
When
Keep
you know
it as vague as possible.
when
We're
you
gonna
know
put the
you're
best
not
team we can on the field, that kind of thing.
because
right?
everyone
Like,
knows that the word competitive means nothing, right? Like
Yeah.
it has absolutely no like tangible meaning, and
like,
so
yeah,
you can.
technically, you're competing every day.
Yeah,
you have to
like-
compete.
like-
you're required to go out there and compete. So of course you're going to be competitive. But yeah, you're right. That's a way to kind of do it without committing to anything.
Yes.
The 500 thing though, yeah, that's a bit hard to hear.
But we did have some great Rockies news. This is the best Rockies news I think that's ever happened. But do you guys know about Cole Tucker?
No, let's hear
Cole
about
Tucker, he's a guy who's been playing with the Pirates
Oh.
for the past couple of years, hasn't had some good seasons, but happens to have just proposed to Vanessa Hudgens.
So his stock has just gone way up.
Vanessa Hudgens is a Rockies minor league wag now, and I'm so excited to run into her at spring training.
Cole Tucker, I believe, in the Diamondbacks farm system last year.
Yeah, that's
Diamondbacks had
Oh, yeah.
Cole Tucker in the system last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Former Diamondback. And also, I know what you mean, though, because this is like Gwen Stefani being connected to the Diamondbacks, right? Like,
Yes.
I adore Gwen Stefani. So as long as her allegiance is with Arizona in some way, and there's the possibility I might run into her at Westgate sometime and have some shots with her and hang out and have a great time and listen to her, kind of serenade me with an a cappella version of Don't Speak, that would be great. I mean, but aside...
I love your imagination. It's
Well,
so
I mean,
fun.
I had to go there because it's just what I dream about every football Sunday. Unlike you that gets to dream about your team now maybe winning the Super Bowl. But
Are you
That'd be
going?
so
Are you
cool.
going to the game?
I'm gonna see what I can get.
That's
Okay.
such a
I'm waiting
weird...
for tickets
Okay.
to go down a little bit. I'm gonna take advantage of some last minute deal.
I'm gonna-
Probably on the Game Time app. Is that a sponsor?
That
Oh,
is a good
absolutely.
segue.
I'm so perfect
We're going to
segue.
get to that, but we are riding with the Game Time app on Super Bowl Sunday. We talked about this. Also, you told me the other night that you were like, you're just going to see if you can get in. And that frightened me about the
Why?
fact that, because I feel like it's going to happen. And that's like, you and I live in different worlds in that way. However, it's kind of
true.
how I did get the
Derek can get his way into a lot of things. I don't know about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no.
I don't know about the Super Bowl.
Travis Scott concert is the best I can do right now on a Saturday night, but I don't think I can get into the big game. But as far as the Diamondbacks go, we did have an article from our beat writer, Steve Gilbert, who we just had on the show recently, kind of predicting the D-backs opening day roster. Jesse had an article months ago beating Steve Gilbert out, which basically had the same
it's a
opening day
competition.
roster.
Yes.
It really was, yeah.
So you guys said he copied your homework.
He did,
exactly.
But
from like a month ago.
Yeah,
like
a month ago.
Steve,
He had
with
plenty
it.
of
My
time. He
gosh.
was in Costa Rica reading it the whole time, scanning it over, deciding on which one he wanted to change. The one that he did change was that he has Tommy Henry as the starting pitcher, earning the final spot in the rotation, which is a bit odd. Obviously, he does acknowledge that the competition for the starting rotation is wide open, but Henry, because of his experience, kind of stands out to him right now as the front runner to at least be part of the starting rotation on opening day.
Yeah.
Now, the Diamondbacks have potentially much better options, but they're all very young. So it's like,
you guys have so many young dudes.
Oh, and that's the part that's like really frustrating is I went on a rant about it the other day. It kind of sucks when there's a good chance that the guys that could like all of a sudden have a breakout year might be held back because they have limited rotation space that's being taken up by a couple of guys that are veterans. Madison Bumgarner, they re-signed Zach Davies. So there's just a lot here as far as the starting rotation goes. It seems almost unfair that really one spot is only up for grabs.
And it could be multiple spots. Like, I guess we don't know for sure that Madison Bumgarner's spot is guaranteed. And of course, the D-backs are going to come out. The D-backs are going to come out and they're going to say that everyone has to earn their role, right? That's kind of what teams tend to do during spring training.
It's like when you say you got to be competitive.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Everybody has a chance.
Speak in generalities that mean nothing, right? That's the time of year that we're in right now for baseball. But yeah, it is interesting that Steve had Tommy Henry winning that 5th spot. I had Dre Jameson winning that 5th spot in my article that I wrote last month. But I've also seen some people say that Ryan Nelson's going to win that spot. So there's all sorts of names, Suzie, that that are floating around there for the Diamondbacks
MLB
right now.
on High Heat had Ryan Nelson as the 5th starter when they had a little graphic up next to Torey Lovullo.
Oh, my favorite sports yelling show.
Yeah, oh yeah. They yelled about some stuff, including I feel like we had Torey on and we didn't ask him about his dad being part of Hee Haw for so long. And I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
I did see that he was asked about. Yeah, yes. I had the same thought. There's just Torey Lovullo's the kind of guy where there's no end to the things that you can ask Torey Lovullo about.
Yeah,
he's a fascinating human being.
I've sat in on some of the post-game scrums.
Yeah.
I think I sent you guys some audio from
one.
You did.
No,
you did.
He's
a great guy.
He's a cool dude. Yeah. I was a fan.
How are you guys doing as far as establishing like your starting rotation and your pitching, or I guess your overall core?
Probably a lot of competition, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's like so tricky though because as we all know, it's impossible to pitch at Coors Field.
Right.
It's impossible.
Fair.
Right.
But we have Marquez, we have Freeland, like they're great, and then the rest of it is like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, we talked about the Diamondbacks kind of being lost in where they were at, and just kind of all over the place. Guys that kind of were producing and at a high level, especially in starting rotation, like Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Madison Bumgarner, obviously not what he was at one point.
Yeah.
But it feels like they're a little bit closer to knowing, where they're at than they have been in past seasons, but that's because of the young guys. The young guys coming up really do make it feel like they have depth everywhere. And,
And that's how things are going to be for the Rockies in a couple of years, because that is why Dick Montfort is, and GM Bill Schmidt, that is why they're kind of not doing too much right now, because we're going to have so much to work with in a couple of years. So
it's a rising farm system.
Yeah.
I've seen the Rockies farm system rated in the top 10, which hasn't happened in a while. It's been kind of a lower tier farm system for a while, but they've had a couple good drafts, so maybe the future is bright in Colorado. Maybe
we like to think it is, and if we don't, we would go
like to
crazy.
Hope it's not. Well, here's the thing, though. We have the same thing to deal with, where it's this division of the Dodgers, the Padres. The Giants are just always good. Like, yes, the Giants spend money, but they just always seem to be good. But now you have the Padres spending a ton of money, and it just feels like it is kind of.
Isn't the NOS fun?
It's just such an uphill battle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you spend money like you did on Chris Bryant, it doesn't even feel like obviously.
Who? Does he play for the Rockies?
I think they signed him to a contract, but I don't know if he plays for the Rockies.
Our plantar fasciitis king, Chris Bryant.
Plantar fasciitis king.
Oh, he was so good at one point.
He doesn't have restrictions coming into this year, right? Like he's healthy, he's back, he's
healthy.
ready.
Yeah, he should be healthy. He should be feeling good. I don't know if you guys have heard us talk about this on the show, but during that last that last series in LA, I saw him walking around the the visitors clubhouse at Dodger Stadium in Under Armour slides that have no arch support. And I was like, what are we doing?
Oh my God.
Plantar fasciitis and you are not participating in arch support? What are we doing?
You should be walking around with pillows like taped to your feet.
Here's the thing. We had a whole thing with Crocs last season where Crocs became like the good luck charm, and Lucas Gilbert bought everyone a pair of purple Crocs.
Except Chris
So
Bryant.
he has a pair of Crocs.
Oh, do those have better arch support?
Those have great arch support.
Okay. I'm not up to date on my Crocs.
It's the I'm very into foot health. Don't tell the feet guys. If the feet guys watch your show, they're not welcome here.
All right,
I'm gonna roast them.
sorry.
Anyway, I hijacked your program.
Sorry. No, it's fine. That's what you're here for. It's Friday before the Super Bowl, so I've said this multiple times this week. I'm dead inside. I've gone to so many Super Bowl parties that I'm just a shell of my former self here.
What Super Bowl parties are you going to, Derek?
Oh my God, Jesse! Last night
there are no Arizona. There's nothing. These are two teams that are nowhere close to Arizona. What's going on here, Derek? I don't understand.
Remember earlier when someone said that you were the cooler one on this podcast, and they were obviously wrong about that.
I do remember.
Even though you're 24 with a condo in Scottsdale, and I'm a 41-year-old married man, but. We know that's not true. We know I'm the cooler one. We also know that I was out last night eating like tomahawk steaks inside of a vault with high-end performance cars, Jesse. So I don't know why. So you did see that, but then you're questioning what parties I'm at. You know where I'm at. I'm not allowed to tell you where I'm at.
Maybe I'm just jealous that I'm not invited to the same parties that you are apparently. But
we hit the nail on the head.
There's so much drama on this show.
All the time. It never stops.
We fight a lot.
Yeah,
am I on the Real Housewives or am I on the Diamondback show?
Well, the answer is yes. If you want a little more drama, when the MLB put out there on high heat once again, starting to stir stuff up, they left Alek Thomas out of the lineup. Alek Thomas was not the center fielder. Corbin Carroll was the opening day center fielder, according to high heat. Jake McCarthy was in right field, and they had Lourdes Gurriel playing left field. So, Jesse, thoughts on them not knowing this team? There they are, right there.
Thoughts on them not knowing this team.
There it is, right there.
We've got the screen grabs. We've got the receipts.
We got the receipts. We're holding this one.
I do understand where they're coming from, because as of the end of last season, Alek Thomas was a minor league baseball player. He got sent down right before the end of the year. And so I think it's pretty likely that Alek Thomas opens the year on the opening day roster and probably is like, maybe not the team's everyday center fielder, but pretty close to that.
Yeah.
But I understand if you're just going with like the status quo from where we left off last year. Alek Thomas was in the minors. He has something to prove.
This is actually fairly close to our lineups, actually, with the omission of Thomas and Evan Longoria.
They've got Jake McCarthy hitting third, which is
wild. That's wild.
I mean, the D-backs did have Jake McCarthy hitting third toward the end of last year.
If he continued to play like he did at the end of last year, I would absolutely have him in there at third. But also Carson Kelly in there at catcher, which I think that's definitely a much more, obvious choice for starting lineup for opening day. But I think as we progress, really hope to see Gabriel Moreno in there more than Carson Kelly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I think if you're going kind of by the book, like you're going to project it as Carson Kelly being the Diamondbacks' everyday catcher, but in time we expect Gabriel Moreno will eventually take that role.
There you go. Well, if you haven't had a chance already, Jesse has a new article up over at gophnx.com. What is your new piece on again?
The new piece over on gophnx.com is about, I am currently blanking, Derek. What is my new piece about?
Oh my God.
Someone tell me.
It's that kind of week.
It's that kind of week.
Jesse, how many
Super
Bowl parties have you been to?
I talked about it yesterday,
Look,
but I'm
he's
blanking
drinking
right
a beer.
now.
That explains it.
That's the one time I drink a beer on the show. My new story is going through all the D-backs bullpen options and sorting through all of the many guys that the D-backs have back there and organizing them by tier of how likely they would be to make the opening day roster. So there we go. There's what the article is about. I can tell you about what I write about most of the time.
Let's go. Well, get yourself a Die Hard membership so you not only get that piece, which is unlocked, but all of his Die Hard only pieces Not the full count, just full count, as he'll correct me and say. But grab yourself a diehard membership, get access to that, get a free piece of merch like this wonderful hat I'm wearing right now from the PHNXlocker.com. We got a brand new shirt. You can actually get that one as a new member. It is our Kevin Durant, not Kevin Durant, Slim Valley Reaper shirt. Look at that. Beautiful.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a hot shirt right
That
there.
is a nice shirt.
I'm getting some order requests for that shirt. So make sure to grab that shirt over at the PHNXlocker.com. And if you are a new member, you can get that shirt for free. Not only do you get that, but you get 20% off all future purchases at the PHNXlocker.com. Access to our members-only Discord, discounts on events, members-only merch, as well as more. So grab your diehard membership over at gophnx.com. And if you are here right now in the PHNX YouTube channel, we thank you guys for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Make sure to subscribe to us there. Sign up for notifications. That way you don't miss when any of our shows go live. Leave us a little thumbs up. Jesse loves that. It's his favorite thing. And if you're listening to us on your favorite audio podcasting app, subscribe to us there as well and leave us a review. We appreciate you for doing that as well. Underdog Fantasy. Have you gotten a chance to check out the Underdog Fantasy app?
I have not.
Okay, so
Underdog,
please
tell me about it.
It's got a couple of different things, right? You got the
we love an underdog.
Pick'ems. It's like fantasy, right? And
yeah.
it's got so like basically they give you the higher or lower. You might not like this one, but they have like 2 Super Bowl boosters. The first one, Patrick Mahomes related, if it will have a higher or lower 314.5 total yards to increase your maximum payout from 20 times to 30 times if you get all 5 of your pick'ems correct. The more pick'ems you add for the big game, the more money you win, right? Ooh. I won $1,000 on pitch counts one night, just picking higher or lower on MLB pitch count. So
baseball is really a great sport for Underdog Fantasy because I think everyone agrees that doing a full season of fantasy baseball is just entirely
miserable.
Too long.
Even
it's
if you're,
it's
impossible.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's
very difficult. You have to set lineups every single day, and
so
it's
instead you can
entirely
draft
too exhausting.
A single day team where you go up against 5 of your friends, and whoever has the highest scoring squad win some cold hard cash. Also, another Super Bowl booster that you might be into, you can make a really tough choice to decide if Jalen Hurts will have higher or lower than 0.5 total yards.
Wow.
That's what they say. But then the Patrick Mahomes is 314.5 total yards.
Is that a typo?
I don't like what they're suggesting here, but I think
sounds like
they might be hooking you up with an easy choice on that one over there with their Super Bowl boosters. So check that out.
That's an easy choice
Underdog
for me.
Fest, right? I know you're taking that one.
Yeah,
it's easy money sometimes. So make sure to get started over at underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with promo code PHNX, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Very exciting. Besides the Super Bowl, we got the World Baseball. This is baseball nirvana. We talked about Arizona being really a great place. Like World Baseball Classic, we talk about it. We're excited for it. But really, it's only taking place in 2 cities in the United States this year. That's wild. So it's really fun, and we are lucky enough to be one of them. We know both teams are actually really well represented, but you were actually telling us that the Rockies have more.
The Rockies have a ton of guys.
Yeah, from the major league roster, right? Yeah, like the Diamondbacks have a lot of guys, but a lot of them are actually minor league guys. But you guys have a lot of guys from the major league roster.
Yeah. So like Team USA has Kyle Freeland in the starting rotation. Jake Bird. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jake Bird is Team Israel. Daniel Bard will be a reliever for Team USA.
Daniel Bard is so good.
He's so good.
And they extended him, and I don't really understand why, but he's still so good.
You know what? It might have been a little sentimental because, he has this great comeback story, and the Rockies are the one who gave him that chance. His family seems to really like Colorado. He's got these kids that just love running around the clubhouse. They're having a great time. So I don't know. I think they're just happy in Colorado.
Makes sense.
We talked about the Diamondbacks having a lack of quality relievers, a lack of someone that you can really rely on, and almost historically they've had that. They've never really had a good bullpen. So I can understand now and appreciate more than ever having guys in your pen that you want to keep and not let go. You know what I mean? But,
and also it's so hard to be a pitcher at Coors Field that I think once they find a guy who does a good job and enjoys being here, just they latch on. The Rockies
fair.
They have hoarder energy. I always say this on our show. They're not going to get rid of anyone.
I like it. All right, so you have you mentioned those Justin Lawrence on Team Panama, Elias Diaz on Colombia, and Marquez on Venezuela.
Yes. Yeah. So all great players. It's going to be so much fun. So we've got a lot of things to root for as Rockies fans.
Yeah, for sure. It's all over the place. I think the Diamondbacks they have a lot as well. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks list of all of their players. A lot of these guys are minor leaguers, but really interesting to see the mix that we have here. I think Gunnar Groen is Great Britain, actually. But aside from that, I think everything else. Ketel Marte, Dominican Republic. There were more guys than we originally heard. I know Merrill Kelly was the first one we had discussed being part of Team USA. But now we got Alec Thomas over there for Team Mexico and Emmanuel Rivera, the one and only, as part of my team Puerto Rico.
There you go.
We're
Nice.
going to talk about the best hats, but that's the best hat probably. Or maybe Israel. We'll see. But Jesse, what are your thoughts on having this many guys as part of the World Baseball Classic for Diamondbacks fans?
I think you have to have a soft spot for Team Italy, right? Mitchell
yeah.
Stumpo.
There's a lot of guys.
Dominic Fletcher. There's also Gunnar Green as well.
No,
as
I
part
think
of that
he's
group.
Great Britain. I think that might
Oh,
be
that
correct.
one. Okay.
Yeah, but
There's and Dominic Meroglio as
Yeah.
well. So there's three. There's three guys with Team Italy. So yeah, go Team Italy, I guess if you're a D-backs fan.
Jesse, Team USA. Team USA.
I mean, you can-
Wow,
I feel like
Jesse
in
is
this-
un-American.
Yeah,
in
he's
this,
un-American.
like, of course, I would root for Team USA over all the other teams. But from the D-backs perspective, there's a lot of teams to root for, right? I mean, you have to have. I mean, even like Jacob Steinmetz, he was a relatively high draft pick from the Diamondbacks a few years ago. There aren't that many players in baseball who are originally from Israel, or like that's their heritage. So that's pretty cool as well to see. And I'm half Jewish, so I will absolutely be rooting for
L'chaim,
for
let's
Team
go.
Israel. They also have the best hat. I don't know if we want to jump into that conversation
Yes.
right now, but I think
It's a really good hat. It's a
fairly
really good hat.
objective that Team Israel has the best hat out of the bunch.
Let's take a look
So-
at the hats. This was from our friends over at Talking Baseball, and they asked which country has the best hat. There are some great hats up there. I really like the Netherlands hat with that orange crown. Mexico hat is classic. A lot of these haven't changed in a number of years. I think that Mexico logo has been the same. Team Puerto Rico, of course, another beautiful,
solid hat.
That's a
another
good
beautiful
one.
hat. But yeah, I think we can all agree that Team Israel, probably one of the sharpest looking hats up there.
Oh, I love it. I need to buy one for every member of my family.
Yeah, it's so great.
Same.
I think my problem here is the United States hat. It's garbage,
It's
and I
terrible.
hate it, and I don't like it. And why is the flag backwards? The flag is backwards. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like this hat at all. I don't like that
I
logo.
feel like that's a bad sign. if the
Yeah,
flag's
that's not
backwards.
good. I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't think it's like an insurrection upside down thing.
They do
but-
that on like military uniforms as well. I don't know why that's a thing, but only with the U.S. flag.
Yeah, that it's.
They
good.
always do it backwards.
That's
It's kind
weird.
of odd.
That's odd. I didn't know that. But I don't like the U.S. logo either. It's kind of
No,
just,
it's terrible.
yeah. Jesse and I disagreed on Team Canada's hat. I like the maple leaf. Jesse is very anti-Canada.
Wow.
Anti-Canada,
Yeah.
anti-America.
Yeah, I know.
Way to just put words in my mouth
I
there.
am.
I will say we should give the Netherlands a shout out as well. That's a pretty sweet hat.
Yeah,
I
the
think some
Netherlands.
of
Yeah,
our,
Very
that's-
regal.
it's very, very nice. I like that. I like their World Cup jerseys as well. They have some great World Cup jerseys. But let's get back to the World Baseball Classic and some of these rosters, because I want to point out what the maybe not this one, but just maybe on us, because this is a nightmare. The Dominican Republic is going to squash all of us, I think.
They have so many good
Their
dudes.
fucking team is ridiculous, right? I mean, from start to Rafael Devers, Wander Franco, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Ketel Marte, Jeremy Pena, Gene Segura, also outfielders Eloy Jimenez, Julio Rodriguez, and Juan Soto. Shut
Goodbye.
up! Stop it!
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be amazing to watch. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if this is picking up steam. I don't know if I never really paid that close of attention to the rosters, but it feels like this team's rosters are stacked for a
Yeah.
lot of teams and more than we've seen in the past. Like all-star caliber teams that these, countries are putting out there.
Oh yeah, like all these
Yeah.
guys, absolute stars.
And United States has an incredible roster too. Like, it's not to sell the United States short. The
Mhm.
United States World Baseball Classic roster.
What sport are we playing?
I don't
in?
know. I'm still thinking
What
about that
year is
Netherlands
it?
jersey, but
I will
Uh,
say, like, the pitching side is not as good for the Dominican Republic. They have Sandy Alcantara,
true.
won the Cy Young. I guess he's okay.
he's all right.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, okay, Christian Javier, granted, very, a very, very good starter. Something like that.
Right.
But other than that, Johnny Cueto is a little bit past his prime at this point. They have a lot of good relievers, Camilo Duvall, Gregory Soto. There's some other guys as part
Hector
of that
Neris.
as well. Hector Neris, there you
Mixed
go.
feelings about him.
Rafael Montero, big reliever for the Astros that we saw in the postseason. So their bullpen's in a really good spot, I think. Beyond Alcantara and Christian Javier, maybe the rotation wouldn't be as deep, but the U.S. kind of has the same problem.
Similar problem with the rotation.
You've got
right?
Clayton Kershaw, you've got Adam Wainwright, you've got Kyle Freeland, as you mentioned earlier, Lance Lynn, Merrill Kelly, of course. Merrill Kelly's one of the best pitchers in that group, but
of course, the best.
Yeah, both the U.S. and the Dominican are just absurdly stacked on the position player side.
We got JT Realmuto, we got Paul Goldschmidt, Pete Alonso. That's your 2 first basemen, by the way. Nolan Arenado at third base, Tim Anderson, Trey Turner, Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop.
It's ridiculous.
Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Kyle Schwarber, Kyle Tucker, Cedric Mullins.
Yeah.
Like that.
I love Team USA.
I mean, it's going to be incredible. So
it's close though. Like that position player group, and compared to the Dominican, like Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Jeremy Pena, Wander Franco, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Rafael Devers, like it's insane. Like both teams are absolutely insane on the position player side. I really hope we get to see the U.S. play the Dominican because that would be incredible.
Yes, let's make that happen.
Although I really hope we see the U.S. play Team Japan because I want to see Mike Trout facing Shohei Ohtani. I want to see that.
That would be incredible. Shohei Ohtani pitching Mike Trout at the plate. That would be incredible.
It would be what a mashup.
You guys send us either in the chat or on Twitter your favorite World Baseball Classic hats and maybe your selections for who you think might win the tournament. It's going to be fun and it's good for baseball. And not only that, but if you're here in Arizona, it's good for you. You should go out and check that out. We're going to be out there. Or wait, I'm sorry. Our writer Jesse is going to be out there. I'm going to be in the stands with Sean DePaz getting drunk. But that's where we're going to be. And I'll probably be drinking a Four Peaks beer. So make sure to find us and grab yourself a beer if you haven't done so already. Make sure you have plenty of Four Peaks in time for the big game. And grab Wow Wheat. We've all agreed here around here at the office that Wow Wheat is the best Four Peaks beer.
I'm not a big beer person, and it's genuinely very
Jesse
good.
is enjoying one right now. It's a rarity, but of course, very excited for that. It's Arizona's #1 wheat beer as well. So make sure, with so many sporting events here this month, to grab yourself a Four Peaks beer. If you hadn't have a chance to try Arizona's #1 wheat ale and Wow Wheat, come on down to Old Town Boondocks for the Tailgate Time Machine tomorrow. Saturday, February 11th, try Four Peaks' newest innovation. It's packed full of Arizona citrus, perfect for light drinking in the desert sun. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy and enjoy responsibly. And also make sure to message Jesse and let him know that he can't have a condo full of Chase lounges.
Do you agree with that, Susie? Don't you think that the Chase Lounge is the best,
a good influence
the
on this
best
situation?
furniture?
I mean, it's if there's one of them. Do you have other furniture besides?
Jesse wants nothing but Chase Lounges in his house. He just wants it to be a Chase Lounge in the kitchen, Chase Lounge over here in the patio. It's just Chase Lounges.
I got to be real with you. That's a real weird energy to be giving off.
All right. See,
I gotta be honest with you.
We have a woman's perspective here.
If I were to walk into a guy's place,
it's like real serial killer level stuff.
I think the only thing worse would be like only beanbags.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
That's fair. I'm not a big beanbag person. You just like sink into it. It's like kind of uncomfortable. But Chase Lounges, they're very versatile. You can sit on it. You can lay on it.
You don't like needing someone else's help to get out of a chair? What are you talking about? That's great.
I'm so concerned. I will be.
You don't have that problem with the Chase Lounge. I'm just saying. There's like a little ledge you can grab onto.
See, don't listen to him. Don't see.
It's like a half couch, half chair.
He starts using logic that makes sense, and then you realize that he trapped you into his weird Chase Lounge world, and that's not what we want. Send him what furniture he needs to buy from morefurniture.com because Jesse needs actual furniture. He needs something else than that. Like I know he bought a bed. I think you bought a bed, or did you get the weird Chase Lounge bed thing that you were looking at?
I did break down and buy a real bed.
He wanted one with a weird edge on it. It was just going to be like the size of a double bed. I didn't understand it one bit. But you can get your furniture over at More Furniture. And don't buy nothing. I'm not saying you can't buy a Chase Lounge. Just don't buy nothing but Chase Lounges. You can also get their white glove delivery service, which we received here at the office. It was very nice. I didn't have to lift a finger, which I rarely do around here anyway. But say big on the best furniture in the Valley when you head to morefurniture.com. I guess in news that really is about all of us.
Yes, this affects all of us.
Yeah, it affects all of us. Darvish signs a 6-year extension with the Padres that will make him a member of the team until he's 42 years old. Wow. Yeah, thoughts. Let's tread carefully, by the way, on the subject of 42-year-olds before we head down that path. But he will be that old at the end of his contract, which just leaves, again, with a lot of their contracts, they will be kind of old at the end of their, not only old, but I mean like how productive are some of these guys going to be, like Xander Bogaerts, who will be 41 at the end of his contract, and Darvish. Now, before we go on, I will say I am in the best shape of my life at age 41. I'm just defending 41-year-olds now, but Jesse, what are your thoughts on the fact that might be the right time to strike against the Padres?
When Yu Darvish turns 41,
right when he turns 41,
that's when
that's
you
when
push
we
the
get
chips
him.
in.
Yeah, like that's when we go in for the attack and make a move on the division.
The Padres are just wild, man. I mean, you look at the contracts that they've signed, particularly just, this offseason, really, right? Xander Bogaerts, they have him through age 41. Mm-hmm. They now have Yu Darvish up until when he turns 42. Fernando Tatis is still under team control for 12 more seasons through age 35, which somehow seems young.
It does,
and then
right?
Manny Machado.
12 more seasons, and he'll be 35 at the end of it. That's
right.
the wild.
That's the craziest
Can't
part.
wrap my head around that.
Nope.
Manny Machado under control through age 36, although he does have an opt-out at the end of this year. So very possible that they would need to restructure that deal in order to keep Manny Machado around. But yeah, the Padres are willing to spend whatever money it takes. And I think they understand that a lot of these players are not going to be very good in their upper 30s and early 40s, and they're willing to pay that price anyway. So I'm not really surprised by this, because they are. If you're willing to take Xander Bogaerts till age 41, you're probably willing to take Yu Darvish, who has aged very well, up until age 42. It's just the kind of what the market dictates right now.
And on a very light note, I was telling you guys about this before the show, but there's a guy in San Diego who dresses up like Yu Darvish, but he's very small. He's much smaller, but the jersey says Minivish. And, you always wonder, what happens if Yu Darvish gets traded? What happens if he goes somewhere else?
What's going to happen to Minivish?
Is he going to have to move? And now he doesn't have to move.
Right.
So the biggest winner here is
Minivish.
Is
Minivish.
Minivish. Because poor generic Hosmer now has nothing.
Oh, generic Hosmer.
Did he move to Chicago?
I would. You don't have a choice at that point. You're committed to the bit, so you kind of have to do it. I don't know. I don't want to deal with this team for this long. This makes me sad. Hopefully Manny Machado does opt out. Like I said, maybe the time for the Diamondbacks and the Rockies to strike is 2028. Yu Darvish is 42. Bogaerts will be 36. Manny Machado will be the starting third baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Juan Soto will be the ripe old age of 29 in 6 years.
Oh my God.
Juan Soto won't be under contract theoretically, right? They could bring him back.
You say that now.
Yeah, he probably will. Knowing the San Diego Padres, he probably will. But I'm just saying he's not as of right now.
Right, and Fernando Tatis Jr. will break his other wrist, I'm sure, between now and then.
Yeah, he'll have broken both wrists several times.
A lot
at
of
that
drama.
Point. Yeah.
He really is. By the way, speaking of a lot of drama, we're very happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
I did want to take a moment because the other night we were out celebrating the Kevin Durant signing, basically.
We were.
And in honor of Kevin Durant, this lady next to me, she got up on stage at Low Key in Tempe and decided to start playing piano and singing Taylor Swift. I think we have a clip of that. Do we have a video of that? There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Suzie, everybody. Make some noise for Suzie.
Now their mic was, can they hear us, Damon? Or we got sound? Okay, so their mic there was terrible and they had to turn down so you don't get to hear Susie's beautiful singing as much as you like in this video. But I just want to ask, who does this? Who goes to a bar and then goes, I'm going to get on stage and play piano and sing?
I will tell you who, a Sagittarius.
Oh my God. This is incredible to me.
Sounds like really good.
Thank you. Yeah.
She was very good. Like I said, aside from the mic not being turned, she needed a sound check is what she needed.
They did not take me seriously going in.
No, they did not.
I felt like a hustler going in.
They did not. All right.
Nice.
Well,
thank you for helping my singing career. If anyone wants to sign me,
that's what we were trying to do.
I'm
we're trying
not
to get that out
represented
there.
right now.
I guess I have to ask. I shouldn't ask, but I have to ask. Who is your selection for the Super Bowl to win? What do you think the final score is going to be?
The final score.
Is that the first time you've been put on the spot?
Actually,
with that question?
no one has asked me what I think the final score is going to be.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, "Are you going to climb a pole?"
Well,
I am.
Are
yes.
you? Are you? Okay. That was actually the only reason why I was asking that first part of the question. So we got the answer, but
okay. I think. I'm totally on the spot right now.
No, it's fine. I want to just tell everybody that in the meantime, while you're deciding, we can go on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Of course, Super Bowl parlays are what we're doing. We're trying to add as many legs as we can, win as much money as we can. And there's all sorts of wonderful things. Of course, we have the regular stuff, but You know, on this show since last year and forever until we die, we ride with Blue Gatorade in the Super Bowl. Blue Gatorade forever. I don't care what the odds are great for it. Plus 400. You could win on a $20 bet. You could win $80 on the color of Gatorade. Come on, let's do that over at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the app now. Use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Do we have an answer yet?
I'm going to say 35-21 Eagles.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.
All right. Also,
Respect.
Thank you.
The biggest point that we're trying to make here is that on Super Bowl Sunday, we're gonna get on the Game Time app and we're gonna see what the tickets are. Or am I saying we're gonna save 60% off of the face value of a Super Bowl ticket? I am not suggesting that. However, I kind of am. So who knows what's going to happen? But jump on the Game Time.
Relative.
Value is relative. It all depends on the amount of tickets available. Come that morning, there could be a huge amount of available tickets. And of course, you can get those over at Game Time for up to 60% off on the Game Time app. As Jesse said, it's the most aesthetically pleasing app, isn't it?
It's beautiful. And I love that you can see, the view from that seat and how much you would pay for it. Because seeing the view is more important to me than seeing where the seat is.
Well, here's the thing. I will say this about State Farm Stadium. And I don't know people's opinions on this in general in football, but I have sat very close at State Farm Stadium and kind of had a miserable experience compared to the $25 tickets I bought for Cardinals games sitting up in the upper deck where you can actually see the game, right? You can actually see plays developing. You can actually get a good view of it. Whereas I feel like if you're down close, you're just, once again, like me, trying to be close to Gwen Stefani, right? So just do your best to try to get cheap tickets over at Game Time. Save up to 60% off tickets when you buy last minute. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description below. This is Kevin Durant week. It's Super Bowl week. We're just baseball. We're just here. But next week, it's not our week. But next week is our fucking week. We're back next week. We got pitchers and catchers reporting. Things liven up around here. We can't wait to get out to Salt River Fields.
Are you sticking around for pitchers and catchers reporting, Susie?
I'm going to go back.
It depends if the Birds win or not. If the Birds win, then there's a good chance she's going to get arrested.
I might still be in jail here.
Right. See?
But I'll be here. I'll be here through Monday. I'm going to come back for spring training. I'm not sure when yet.
Okay.
But
we are we're roommates over at Salt River Field, so of course make sure to check out all the wonderful action out there. Remember, workouts are back to being normal again, so no social distancing. You can come out. You can be right next to the players when they're running drills and all that stuff. So it's a great time.
They can cough in your face legally now.
Yeah, they can. Right,
it's
correct. She gets it.
Yeah.
We thank you guys so much for being here. You can follow us all on Twitter, especially this one, to see if she does get arrested or not. I'm at Cap_caveman with a K. She's at the Suzie Hunter with a Z, but not where you think it is. And that guy over there is at Jesse N. Friedman. Our show is at PHNX D-backs, but of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. This is our last week without baseball activity, without seeing guys do stuff. So I'm so excited for next week. We have a weird demonstration of the MLB rules that Jesse and I still don't know what it's going to be, but we can't.
I just really hope they ask for volunteers.
I just really hope Rob
you're
Manfred
out there
is
running
out
the bases or something.
Yeah,
that would be incredible.
Great. I want Rob Manfred showing us the defensive shift rules himself, and him being with a glove on, but in a suit, going, "You can't be here, be over here." That would be great, but we'll see what happens. Again, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me,
Good
guys.
Good luck to your team, and wish you the best, of course. Thank you guys for being here on behalf of Damon, Jesse, Susie, and myself. Appreciate you guys always for being here. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when the Eagles win the Super Bowl.